What's up guys, that Racing Game Guy here. Today I'm in Forza Horizon 2 going to do a little bit of a sleeper build. Now, continuing on doing some of the cars from the August free car pack that you can get for free through the Forza Hub app, but before August 22nd, I figured I would take a look at this Volvo S60. Right off the bat, it's all-wheel drive and 345 horsepower. So it's a little bit on the heavy side at almost 3,700 pounds, but let's take this car and see if we can't increase performance and reduce weight a little bit. I know we can reduce weight a little bit, but let's see how much performance upgrades there are. So let's see, go ahead and upgrade that drivetrain. I'm going to leave that all-wheel drive drivetrain just because it'll help. And ooh, wow, that hurts launch so much. Just because in being a sleeper, that all-wheel drive will help quite a bit. It might hurt the handling a little bit, but as far as launch and acceleration and everything, it makes a tremendous difference having all-wheel drive. Right off the bat, it's really low to the ground too. Typically cars aren't that low. Has really nice wheel fitment straight from the factory, but that's not going to stop me from lowering it even more. Well, raising it and then lowering it when I tune it, I should say. These should help that handling, that's the handling ability that's kind of taken away a little bit by all-wheel drive. Let's see. Doesn't help handling enough to make up for the loss in acceleration. 2,900 pounds. Not bad at all. Okay, let me look at conversions. I'm not going to swap the engine. I might do it later on, but I'm just going to leave it as it is right now. So there is no aspiration conversion because it's already turbo. Okay, that's awesome. Now I may or may not upgrade everything. I'm just going to upgrade basic stuff as of right now. See where that gets me. Come on, menu lag. Definitely going to upgrade the turbo. So 520 horsepower. I'll upgrade the cooling. $543 isn't too bad. See, that takes it. I want to leave it. I want to leave the class at about 900. So let's see what else. Alright, come on. There we go. Okay. Now that takes it over 900. Let's see here, I'll buy that and then I'll lower that down. No, really? Okay then. Alright, well, that works. 597 horsepower, 697 foot-pounds of torque, weighing in at 2,900 pounds. I'm happy with that. And I can always upgrade this stuff later and upgrade the cam, because the cam adds another 100 horsepower. But I don't want that just yet. I am going to swap the wheels out. Let's see, let me tune it first. That way I can have it lowered down and I can get a little bit of a better idea of what it's going to look like. Got my 0 to 60 down to 2.9. That's what the Aventador does. Aventador is rated in at a 0 to 60 time of 2.9. So basically I have a sky blue Volvo Aventador. The top speed is really similar too. Add a little bit of camber maybe to help it handle a little bit better. Let's see. Tighten up the springs a little bit. Of course I'm going to lower it down all the way. Let's see, about 130%. That's what I usually like to set it at. Let's see, set that there, turn that up a little bit, just see what that does, see if that does anything. Alright. This car is really low. It's tucking the tires. That's awesome. Looks great. It's a really good looking car. Usually I wouldn't say Volvo is like the best looking car because I mean, yeah, they can take a hit, you know, we all know that, but they're just kind of boxy looking and I don't know, but this car looks really sharp. Almost looks like a BMW or a Mercedes. It doesn't look like a Volvo. It doesn't have a Volvo look to it. It looks very nice and luxurious. But let's see what kind of wheel options I have. See what fits this car well. Those work well. As do those. Those are pretty similar. Those work really well. I have such a hard time deciding what wheels to get because there's a lot of really beautiful wheels and there's a lot of different ones that will fit the car and look really good on the car. It's just a matter of which ones that look really good on the car do you want. And depending on what's down here, those look the same as these. What's the difference between these and these? Maybe the spokes are a little bit thicker on these. I like the ones with the thinner spokes a little bit better actually. Those don't look quite as good. They still look alright. Those look okay. So do those. I think I'm going to do these 5 spokes down here. Let's see, was it that one or was there another one? Yeah, these. I like that. That looks really good. Looks really clean. It's just plain and simple. You wouldn't expect it to be too fast, but as we're about to see, I think it's going to be pretty fast. Even if this hurts speed a little bit, that's okay, because I want the extra handling ability. Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm going to leave that alone. It would make it too non-sleeper-ish. Alright. So lowered on a set of aftermarket wheels. So it's not completely stock, but a sleeper doesn't have to be completely stock. Alright, before I really get on it, I want to get out here where it's a little bit more straight. I'm not going to lie, it's not the quickest car that I've driven in the game, but the tires hook up and it moves. and it handles a lot better than I was expecting it to. A little bit of understeer there. That may have also been user error. I'm not gonna say it's all game error. This car it's fast. You know, obviously I didn't fully upgrade it, so it's not the fastest thing that I have in the game. I've done videos on a couple of faster cars, I think. But I mean, as far as just an all-around car, this car is really great. The modifications, I mean, aside from getting a little bit of horsepower out of like upgraded valves and pistons, I didn't do too much modification. I upgraded intake, exhaust, fuel system, which is right there on top of the engine. It's not that hard to get to. Ignition, which is obviously really easy to get to. I mean, that's like swapping out spark plugs for better ones and spark plug wires and coils. So that stuff is really easy. I upgraded the turbo, which is the most in-depth thing that I did. But you know, upgrading the turbo, upgrading the fuel system, realistically they go together well. And I upgraded the cooling, which also goes along with upgrading the turbo. So, really, I mean, I just did basically bolt-on modifications, excluding having the turbo upgraded. So, I mean, it kind of goes to show how well off this car is right from the factory. And I mean, I did brakes and weight reduction and stuff, but as far as like just power and handling, sorry, couldn't think of the word for a second. As far as just power and handling, it's really great. Like, I'm really happy with this car. And that all-wheel drive means you're not going to just... Yep, see, there's that understeer. There's that all-wheel drive understeer coming out a little bit. I just have to learn how to control it a little bit. Even if it means tapping the e-brake, kicking the rear end out a little bit, just to kind of correct that oversteer. Or understeer. Correct the understeer with oversteer, that's what I'm trying to say. So I think the highway is right up here. I'm going to get on the highway, do a couple little highway pulls. Oh wow. Really? I have to go all the way around? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Wait. That's the shorter route. Well, why not? I'll test the car on the road a little bit more.
Right.
And again, because of that all-wheel drive and because I have really sticky race tires, it's not bad to kick the rear end out just a little bit, because if you kick it out to correct the understeer with oversteer a little bit, the tires hook right back up. I mean, as soon as you let off the gas and allow them to hook back up, they hook back up really nicely, and then the car just keeps going. And it's almost, I mean, the car is rather large, but because of that weight reduction and everything, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like a really tiny sports car. And the best thing about it is
In 400 yards,
it's four-door,
right.
so it's like a family road trip car. Probably my favorite road trip car as of right now, because I haven't done the Chevy SS yet, and in all honesty, this is a car that I would compare to the Chevy SS, because not only does it have a little bit of the same styling, it's almost a little bit muscly. It's beefy, and it kind of has a little bit of the styling of the Chevy SS. Just how, I mean, when you look at it from the side mainly, just how the front end and everything, how it just kind of flows and how the body lines flow. I mean, I would say that this is the Volvo edition of the Chevy SS, the Volvo version of the Chevy SS.
In 400 yards,
no wheel spin.
Right.
I mean, the tires chirped, but they didn't spin. They didn't hurt my acceleration at all. And I'm really happy with that. I might see later on how much power I can squeeze out of it and not spin the wheels at first. But really, this car doesn't need anything else. I mean, it's great. And top speed of like 225. Now, it might take a little while to get there. It seems like it's going to take a little while to get there. Ooh, he was switching lanes. Thank God.
You have arrived at your destination.
So, the top speed, it takes a little while to get there, so realistically, you're not ever going to get there unless... Oops. Sorry, LFA. Realistically, you're not going to get there unless you're doing what I'm doing and you're on the highway for miles and miles. But even if you do like a simulated mile-long drag race at the airport, you're not going to reach your top speed. But that wouldn't stop me from, you know, getting together with friends and drag racing at the airport. Because this car, it would do well, especially on launch. I mean, I would get them on launch. They would probably catch up because some of my friends have really fast drag cars. But I know for a fact that I would get them on the launch. Just because of how my launch is. See, and it's like past 100 that my acceleration really starts to slow down. So let's see, let me do like a 50 roll here. And this car sounds absolutely amazing. I'll let you guys hear the exhaust when I start this pull here in 3, 2... So that's the exhaust. I mean, it sounds wonderful. The car, it lacks top end a little bit. It could definitely use some more top end power, but I'm happy with it as it is now, honestly. Like, I don't really feel the need to do anything else to the car. Those wheels are awesome. Let's see, let's try 30 roll here. Sorry. Just kidding, you got in my way. Come on, really? Ooh, this guy is 50,000 credits. I'm gonna have to race this guy real quick. I think that's a... Okay, so your mother is 50,000 credits. Let's see that. Come on, get out of here. Go forward. Go forward. No, Which way is he going? I don't... Well, I'll race him later, but I'm not going to sit here and deal with his just driving in circles right now. He's confused. He just got in a wreck. It's okay. But that was the Volvo S60 Polestar sleeper build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you have any more car suggestions for sleeper builds, leave them down below in the comments. But if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more awesome stuff like this. Thank you guys for watching.